evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us today for our spotlight event with media and journalism. We will be viewing, the campus and course facilities, and also hearing from tutors about the course offer, entry requirements, progression routes, and much more. With a live Q&A session right at the end, so make sure you do send in any questions you have. I'll now pass over to the curriculum manager for media and journalism, Gavin.
Hello, Weld, and thank you, as Sian said, thank you for joining us. I'll be introducing my colleague shortly. My name is Gavin Brocker, and I am the curriculum manager for media. I'm also the curriculum manager for acting and technical theatre. My history, my background is that of an actor. I've been a trained actor and worked in the acting profession, and a part of that, I've worked in the TV and film industry. And I've also conducted and been a part of a number of interviews in the industry. Whilst acting, I've been working in a part of North Kent College now, and I set up on the acting course an acting for camera course. And the ethos that we had and that we have is that of setting up of a professional acting for camera and TV and film industry, and that was a success. And so I was brought in as a part of the media team to manage the media team and to really install that ethos and to set up that of a professional environment of where applicants that have an interest in media, be it TV or film or journalism, could come to North Kent College, learn about their trade, but more importantly, work it every single day in a vocational training. And that is what we've created over the last couple of years, is that if you have that interest in TV and film production or journalism, you can come and you can really work in that environment that's really sort of pushing you and open up other doors and avenues that you can sort of walk down to really sort of experiment what the industry has to offer. And that is what we've done here. So if you have any interest in media whatsoever, then be it TV or film production, digital journalism, and I'm sure that you've got loads of questions for us later on, this is the course to be on, because it is more than a course, and it is more than what I would say is of an A-level training. It is a vocational training that really is exciting and offers you that of what you would be doing in the game. So yeah, I'm sort of going to be around, and you can always sort of send emails via the team to be able to sort of have any more information from myself. But I am going to introduce two colleagues here. We have somebody that works inside the TV and film production side, and we've got somebody that works in the journalism side. So first of all, I'm going to introduce you to Melanie Ray. Melanie, over to you.
Hello, thanks, Gavin. Yes, so my name is Melanie Ray. I've been here, this is my 4th year I've been here at North Kent College. Now, I come from industry. I was working in the film and TV industry, mainly TV, for about 30 years. Sounds like an awful long time. It was a long time. Now, I can tell you it's an absolutely great job. It's really competitive. You get to meet loads of interesting people that you work with, and also people that you actually get to interview. I had many brilliant times. I went all over the world. I went to Australia and America, did lots of films. I would highly recommend that you do it. So I made documentaries, debates. Mainly the kind of work that I was on was factual. So made lots of features and packages, and I started off in radio. So I got into it by applying for the BBC radio training course. And so I worked in local radio, and then worked my way up to national and world radio, and then I went into TV, local TV, I went into newsrooms, and then after that, that's generally why my career ended up going into a sort of factual route. So I worked as a director, as a producer, as a series producer, and if you don't know what any of those mean, don't worry, because if you come and join the course, I can give you loads more details. But essentially, It means you can, you've got your own projects that you work on, you've got your own vision, and you can really exercise yourself. So if that sounds like the sort of thing that you're interested in doing, working in the industry or maybe in the film industry, then this course is probably for you. So yeah, it's come and join us. I'll hand you over back to Gavin.
Thanks, Mel. So Melanie looks after sort of the TV and film production side. I'm now going to introduce you to Graham Gladden, who can talk to you about the digital journalism pathway. So, Graham, over to yourself.
Hello, am I there?
You are there, Graham. You are there.
Okay, I just can't see myself. That's the only thing, but it doesn't matter. Hello, I'm Graham Gladden. As Gavin said, I work in the digital journalism pathway. I kind of coordinate and run that pathway. So where Mel does the TV and film pathway, we focus mainly on journalism. My background is mainly academic, so I changed career back in my late 20s. I came out of the construction industry, and then I moved into journalism, and I went to study journalism and ended up teaching journalism at a number of different places. So I've been to various universities. I've learned and taught 4 different universities now. And now I've been running this course and working in the media department here for the last 11 years now. So digital journalism is a relatively new pathway, and we've now been building this pathway for the last 3 years. But the need for a journalism course kind of came along at the right time, because it seems like everybody today has the potential to be a journalist. And so I've been using some of the experience I've been gathering over the last sort of 5-10 years, where I've produced some stuff for the BBC, mainly in radio. BBC Kent, I did a cultural show for them. I've also worked in the publishing industry, so I've given a bit of expertise in kind of like creative writing projects and things like that. So I'm very much into my written content. But after we've watched the videos, we'll come back and we'll look at some of the specifics that we bring into our digital journalism pathway. Back to Gavin.
Brilliant. Thanks, Graham. So, as I say, everybody later on. So, Graham, after the videos, Graham and Melanie will be talking about the curriculum, talking about the curriculum requirements, sort of pre, present, and post the course. And then after that, there's going to be a chance for sort of a Q&A. So I'm sure that you have lots of questions that you sort of you want answers to. So I think I'm going to hand you back to Sean, who's going to be showing you the videos. So thank you again for joining. It's lovely to meet you, even via sort of this video link, and hopefully we get to sort of see you in person all very soon. That's it from me. Over to you, Sean.
Thank you, Gavin. Thank you, Melanie and Graham, for obviously introducing yourselves. I'm just going to show you the campus video now. Enjoy. So that's the campus tour video. I'm now going to show you the showcase subject area for media and journalism of video, along with some student testimonials.
It's like a really broad scale of things that you're allowed to do, and there's many aspects of film that it's not just about the visuals, it's also about the sound. There's so many things that go into it that it really allows you to kind of broaden your horizons on what you want to do with your career and where you want to go. I really want to be either a sound director or a director, because I really enjoy having control over a team in order to come together and create something quite visually appealing and something that I would really want to watch at a cinema.
So last year I did the level 2 course we have here, which is media as a whole, and I got to explore journalism as well as TV and film within that, and having that extra year of experience really helped me decide what path I wanted to go down, as well as learn a bit more and prepare myself for what I was going to have to do on this course.
There's so many opportunities that we get from basically just doing stuff outside anyway. So many things have been opened up to me, and career options and what I want to do with myself. It's really helped me kind of discover what I want to do and how I want to do it.
I think I might go to university after this course. I really want to go into article writing and writing as a whole. At the beginning of the year we did speak to our tutors about like our ambitions and that, and they said they're here to help us any step of the way that we need.
Hello, so it's back to me, and what I'm going to do now is tell you a little bit about the course and what we do on the course. Okay, so first of all, we run it like it's industry, and so we work as if it's industry. So it's a very competitive business, so we work in a competitive way. So I look after the first year, level 3 film and TV. We have 3 courses on film and TV. We've got the level 2, which is like an introductory course, which got a mixture of digital journalism and film and TV. And we also have 2 level 3 years. The first year, which is what I run, and the second year, obviously, which is a colleague of mine, David, runs as well. So the first year tends to run like this. Essentially, we have 3 terms. So the first term, so when people join in September, we do, I generally specialise in skills building, because a lot of students have come and they haven't really touched a camera or they haven't edited before. And so I spend quite a lot of time doing short films in the first half term, up to the first half term. We do skills buildings. We do a project a week, working groups, mix up the groups, work with different people. And that's what I mean when it's like working in the industry, because when you work in the industry, you'll find that you'll be working with a lot of people that you've not met before, that you don't know. And it's really, that's one of the things you just need to be able to do, to get on and to work with people and to work in a professional way. And so the first half term is very much skills building, and it's mainly fictional films. We do a TV show, we do lots of different types of films and work in lots of different groups, work very quickly, and then we shoot, edit. And the program we work on is Adobe Premiere Pro, which is a fantastic industry. It's used in Hollywood, it's used in TV. There's a number of different programs, but Adobe Premiere Pro is up there, and we've got a beautiful suite of Macs, which you can't see because it's on the other side, but I can see it. So so we've got some really nice equipment. Okay, so after the half term, the students are currently working on the Factual project. As I said before, if you were listening at the beginning, I come from Factual TV. So we're doing a whole Factual project. Now last year, before this wretched virus ruined everything for us, we had some clients from outside. We had a restaurant and Pilates studio, and the groups were split up and they competed with each other, because that's what we do in the industry. We compete. It's a very competitive industry. And so we had a little competition and there were winners. This year, obviously, we can't do that because of the virus. So what we're doing instead is something just as good. You saw little evidence of it just now. You saw some of the films that were being shown. Those are sort of films that we're doing, where the groups are now working on different adverts for different departments, one for library, one for public services, and one for makeup and beauty. And they're competing against each other, and they're currently in the editing stage now. They've been filming for a couple of weeks, and now they're editing for a couple of weeks. And just before we get to Christmas, we'll find out who the winners are. And it's great to win, but you know what's best? You can put it on your CV as a real job, because these departments and the restaurant, the Pilates studio before, were actually using these films in real life, putting on their websites, putting on their Instagram, putting on their Facebook. And so what we're trying to do is, like I said at the beginning, like industry, we're trying to build up your CVs before you even go and do jobs elsewhere or go to university or something like that. So, as I say, the students are working on that now, and they were here just a short while ago, and I sent them off early so I could talk to you guys. So we do that will take us up till Christmas. Then after Christmas, we do COVID allowing. We do with Gavin, you met earlier, he runs an acting for screen course. And in the past few years since I've been here, we've collaborated, my department and his department, and we've collaborated and made some very exciting working with the actors projects. And I've got another exciting project coming up in January. And then after that, you do your FMP. It's what colloquially we call the FMP, and that means the final major project. Now that's really exciting, because what you do is you do your own project. So up till that point, you will have done, we've done a promo, we've done lots of films. We're also going to do skills building. This Wednesday, we're going to be doing some motion graphics. We're going to do a music video before Christmas. We've done a TV show. So your final major project could be what you've enjoyed doing in the time up to the final major project, which is the last 3 months of the year. And that's what that is you take on a project, you decide what you like. It could be a documentary, it could be a music video. Hey, you might have a band where you've got a song, or you're even the singer, and you want to make a music video for your band. Well, now's the time to do it. Use the facilities. And again, you've got a credit for your CV, because you've made a video for a real life client. You might want to make a documentary about something you're passionate about. You might want to make a fictional film. You might want to make another promo, as they're making this time. So you can make it, so the world's your oyster. And the way that generally works is you lead the project. So every student, so we've got about 30 students now who are going to be doing that after Christmas. Later on, about February, they'll be choosing what they want to do, and it's collaborative, as it is in the industry. So you end up working on your project, you decide what you're going to do. Say it might be a music video, and then you work on it, you come up with a concept, you pitch the idea. You're basically in charge of the whole thing, organising the whole thing, and then maybe you've got some friends who you've worked with before, who you rely on, you like, who think they could do good work, and you work together. And then it's reciprocal. You help them on their project. And that takes about 3 months, and that takes us into the end of the year and into the summer holiday. So that's really it in a nutshell. Let me just go through a few little questions here. So as I already mentioned, we got 2 level 3 courses, year 1 and year 2, and then the level 2 course, which is a 1-year course, which is like a foundation course, if you like. You can look at it like that. So what do you need to get in? Well, 5 GCSEs, including maths and English, a grade C or grade 4 or above. As I say, it's a 2-year course. It's based on interview, and if you go on to the level 2, you'll come up after your first year. You'll get the equivalent of 5 GCSEs, and if you do the 2-year level 3 course, it's the equivalent of 3 A levels. I'll go on in a minute to where people go on to. But how can you apply? Well, you can apply online via the website. So you just need to look up North Kent College and look at where you can apply. There's a question here, what happens if the application form is not working? Well, I can't believe that's going to happen, but why not contact the college? Here's the number, if you've got a pen handy, 01322 629 400. That'll send you through to the reception. I'll give you that again, 01322 629 400. And contact the college and they will let you know what to do. But I'm sure it'll be working. Just go on and find the application form. So what's the process? Well, we can give you more details once you apply. I'm not going to spend too long talking about it, but we want you to make a film which you'll upload, and you'll find that when you apply. And you also need to write about why you want to be on the course. Simple, isn't it? How hard can that be? You know why you want to apply. If you send a film and it's too big to send, you can put it through WeTransfer, but more on that later. So what happens if you decide it's not for you? Well, what we do is we do a 6-week trial, and that's for both sides. So essentially, in the 6 weeks, we can see if you're a good fit, if you're right, so if somebody's being sick all the time or they're being late, well, that doesn't really work for us because, like I say, we're in industry and it wouldn't work in the real world, so it's not going to work here. But if you are a good fit, if you're settling in, if you're enjoying it, obviously that's one of the main things. Do you like it? Is it for you? Is it what you see yourself doing for the next 2 years? Then that's brilliant. But if it isn't, that 6-week trial then gives you an opportunity to find a course that perhaps is a better fit for you. So, but we can talk more about that at the interview process, and you can find out more about it. So what facilities hardware? Well, I've already rhapsodized about the Adobe Premiere Pro, which is a fantastic program to work on. We've got so everybody here has got a Mac to work on. We also have PCs as well. We've got a load of cameras and tripods. We've got, if you know about cameras, we've got Nikons, Canons, we've got 4Ks, and we wanted to get those because obviously that's what the industry is working in currently. And we've got loads of lights, flow lights, the whole range. We've got sound, really nice microphones. We've got a variety of lenses, and then we've got some other equipment, dollies, which is where you can move smoothly forward. We've got a glide cam, which means you can do a really nice smooth shot while hand holding the camera. We've got a fig rig. Well, you can wait and find out what that is, but that's a rare delight, which students love when they find out how good it is. We've got jibs, which is where you can put the camera up high and film down below, and a whole range of others. And I've got a booklet here, which I put together a couple of years ago with all the marvelous equipment we've got in it, and of course we're adding to it all the time. So what else do I need to tell you? Yes, student success stories. Well, where do students go? Well, that's what a lot of parents want to know, and obviously I imagine a lot of students do too. Where do we go? Well, mainly a lot of the students, more and more actually, are going to uni. They go to Brighton Film School, and that's partly for the location, but I think the school's pretty good. Ravensbourne, and then there's a whole range of other unis. Sometimes people want to stay in London. We have had students set up their own companies. We've got a second year, Jeffrey, who is currently doing work for a client right now. So, we do encourage that. We try and get people to find clients and get work. And if you've got a chance to, if you know someone or you've got a chance to, and we've got some people that we know as well. We're working out some work experience with some second years to actually get involved in production companies. But we welcome people going on and taking a little time out to go on film sets and that kind of thing. That's more in the second year, though. You tend to be 18 plus for that. There's a whole range of things that you can end up doing. And of course, the media industry, as we know, with the internet and everything, is growing, getting bigger, and there are a lot more opportunities available. And finally, career progressions. Well, that was on the video, wasn't it? The second one I think they showed. I think to a starter salary, well, it does tend to be quite low to start off, but you can work up quite quickly. And there are two routes, really. Basically, you can start off in a small production company, work your way up through that, maybe not go to uni and sort of work your way up quite high, and you'll probably be earning from about sort of 18 to 20,000 up to about 30,000 possibly. And or you can go to uni and there's a chance that you might be able to go in at a slightly different level. But again, that's a long time in the distance. Don't want to be talking about that. You want to be talking about coming to North Kent College. So I'm going to pass on now to Graham Gladden, who you met earlier, and he runs he's one of the guys that runs the digital journalism course, and he'll tell you more about that.
Hello, thank you, Mel. Thanks for that. I think Melanie covered quite a lot there in terms of the general setup of the course and things like that. So I'll save the actual setup and progression and things like that until I'm done and we can pick up some of the questions. But I guess the thing to kind of begin with would be, well, what's the difference between coming onto it's all media. So what really would be the difference in coming onto a digital journalism pathway as opposed to the TV and film pathway? So now Melanie's explained, what they actually do on the TV and film pathway. I guess I can try and maybe point out some of the differences for those people who are considering digital journalism. I think the main thing to kind of acknowledge to start off with is that most people of your age group who are applying for a course like this, you don't necessarily know if you want to end up as, for certain as a journalist, or if you want to end up as a film producer, or if you want to end up as somebody who works behind the cameras or in radio studios. You don't really know that until you've actually tried those things out. And so for us, the real key to this is we don't expect people to apply and say, yes, I want to be a journalist for the Sunday Times, because we wouldn't expect you to know that right now. But what we do ask for, above all, is kind of like an interest in working in the media industry. But then getting a little more specific, we ask for people who've got interest in working with kind of news content that we're all faced with today. I mean, we're actually bombarded with this stuff on a daily basis. And so if this is something that kind of stirs your interest and you want to know more and you want to kind of move into an industry where you can get to explore how some of this stuff reaches us, how it finds its way to us, then you're probably looking to go down the journalism pathway. There are lots of different jobs in journalism, and so we don't like to narrow it down too much. But what we do is work across three main formats in digital journalism. So first of all, we have what we call the audio format, where we cover working in radio and in podcasting. We have our own radio station 24/7 here, Miskin Radio. You can find it online, miskinradio.co.uk. And what we currently have is a mixture between community members and student members. So our daytime schedule tends to be taken up by student members. We train you how to produce a radio show from scratch, whether that be working the desk or whether that be using the software that we use. Something such as a new piece of kit we've just got is something called Playout One, which all the professional radio stations use these days to put your shows together, to actually kind of make it all run and work coherently. So potential students will have the opportunity, if it's radio that you're interested in coming and learning the skills to produce radio. We also teach people how to produce podcasts. There's a huge podcasting market at the moment, which is growing. It's the quickest growing medium in the world, the most kind of like invested in medium in the world at the moment. And we teach people how to kind of like produce podcasts from scratch, how to kind of like structure them, how to interview, how to bring in guests and kind of make the most of that. And we'll teach you how to do that in a professional way. The next format we work in would be video. And so while we don't focus on the specifics that TV and film would do, we mainly focus upon kind of like news content, news reporting, going out. If you've ever seen a reporter in the street or on the news interviewing people in the street, we focus on things like that. We focus on creating little features and reports on certain subjects that you might be interested in. But we teach you the general skills in how to put and construct a professional piece of news video content. And then finally, the other format that we work in would be what we call web content. So we will teach you how to write, how to put together professionally written articles. We use a lot of other news outlets as our sources of inspiration, ranging from all sorts of news outlets that you could think of: The Guardian, the BBC, the Times, the Telegraph, the Independent, all of these different people. We look at companies like Vice News and things like that, if you're interested in that sort of more alternative news representation. And we basically teach you how to structure your writing to make it as professional as you possibly can. So the hope is, by the time you've had experience in all of these skill sets, your portfolio, by the time you leave us, is looking very strong in terms of the skill set that you can actually take into either employment or take into higher education. So we generally have a split of people that go into either direction, but with the level 3 extended diploma, you're basically giving yourself the equivalent of 3 A levels, and then you can use that qualification to kind of move into either work or move into kind of a more specialized kind of direction of study at university. Now, in terms of work opportunities, usually leaving with an extended diploma at level 3, you're giving yourself the opportunity to get entry-level jobs. You can also pick up, valuable work experience based on that. You can also kind of move into apprenticeships, which is becoming even more popular these days. There are also apprenticeship degrees now. These are building in popularity, and a lot of our students are moving on to do these. So in terms of the course itself, we generally give you a general approach to journalism, and then you will move forward into a more specialized approach as you progress. Now, in terms of kind of like the main thing we offer, when people come to us, you're usually coming from school. So you are kind of in a position where you're moving away from, if you like, your school years, and then you're moving more into a kind of like a vocational kind of direction to work. And that's often a really kind of tricky transition for a lot of people to make. So instead of just saying, right, we're going to teach you a bunch of skills you can use in the workplace, we also spend a lot of time on kind of helping you develop as a person, as a human being, as someone who's kind of conscious about the world that you're working in, which journalism really allows you to do, and kind of like somebody who can develop as a young person as well as a professional person, because obviously the two go hand in hand. So we spend a lot of time kind of like working in class. We become quite a tight-knit team, and we kind of find ways to kind of like explore where we're coming from, what our interests are, and how we can kind of incorporate our interests into our actual work. I mean, it's wonderful if you find yourself in a position one day where you actually really love what you do. And then it's not work. Then you're actually spending your time going to work, and kind of like it's almost getting paid for, stuff that you're into, which is great. And that's what we hope to kind of like help people find their way to do on a course like this. So really the number one criteria that we ask for people to come into a digital journalism pathway wouldn't necessarily be a guarantee that you have a specific direction that you need to go in. It's more that you have a sense of curiosity about the world around you. And if you've got that, then you really have the best start possible. Also, what we like to do is kind of like establish what your interests are from day one. And then we kind of like encourage you to work with your interests in terms of generating content. So the one really kind of like exciting thing about this pathway is if you come to this course and you say, well, I'm really interested in, you know, sport, or I'm really interested in kind of like celebrity news, or I'm really interested in kind of like cookery or horse riding or archery or whatever it might be, we can find ways to help you explore generating news content around your own specific interests. We currently have people working towards their own, particularly in year 2, working towards their own specialised, what we call beat, as in the beat you get from a tune or a drum. And this is a term used in journalism for a specialist line of kind of subject kind of interest, and it's generally the kind of subject that you would be reporting on and investigating for your sort of career direction. So we currently have quite a large cohort of students who are into their sport, and that's boys and girls, and we're currently creating lots of opportunities for them to explore that further. We've established links with local clubs. One of our students today, actually, he done the team announcement for Charlton at the weekend. He did it online, but it's something that he was able to apply for, and using his experience as a journalist, digital journalist, to kind of like apply for that and hopefully pick up some more work experience with the club. We've currently got someone who is developing their own cosplay kind of channel, YouTube channel, and interviewing lots of people during podcasts and things like that to explore that interest. And we really don't rule any interests out. We've got a current level 2 who's really interested in dinosaurs, and so we've just published an article on our website in relation to a latest discovery found down in the Isle of Wight, where they found a load of bones. And so the interest kind of spectrum, if you like, is really wide. And this really is our criteria. We like people to come to this course who already have something in place that they can begin to use to explore what's going on in the kind of the journalistic world around them in that respect. So yeah, we don't necessarily need you to say, I'm definitely going to be a journalist or a radio presenter or a TV kind of presenter or influencer. But what we do like is people who to come to us to say, yeah, I do have an interest I'd like to explore further, and I'd like to explore how that interest is dealt with within the media. So as I say, Melanie gave you a lot of the stuff in terms of like criteria, getting on to the course, things like that. So just very quickly, I'm aware we're running out of time. So it's like a 2-year course. You would do the diploma, and then you would naturally progress on to the extended diploma. That's the equivalent of 3 A-levels. But I think the main difference between maybe staying at sixth form or coming on to a course like this is that we do create a working environment. All of our journalists are assigned to real jobs. We have our own website where we publish all of your work on our website. We publish all of your podcasts. You can be heard on the radio by a substantial audience. So you get to work in a real working environment, and you get to explore the things you're really interested in moving forward. We have lots of guests coming from the industry who are currently working right now, who can give you lots of valuable advice moving forwards. We also try to get you as much work experience as we possibly can. We've recently formed a partnership with a business called Career Ready, and they